Well done to Australia and the UK, who are both through, UK football teams, who are both through to the Women's World Cup. It's 12:30 in the afternoon here, and I'm Liz Jones, Managing Director at People2People UK and your host of P2P UK Live. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn and Twitter, so don't forget to follow us. On today's show, we're going to have a look at the stat of the week, which is a recent update from the ONS. We'll take a look at some hot jobs in the UK, New Zealand and Australia. Then we're going to take a look back at a conversation between New South Wales Managing Director Catherine Kennedy and recruitment expert Marissa Varudo to discuss some of the recent challenges job seekers are facing in 2023. And then we'll take a look at the Twitter poll results. Okay, a recent ONS government survey has revealed that the UK is the work from home capital in Europe. I'm not surprised to see this actually. UK employees work an average of 1.5 days a week at home compared to the international average of 0.9 days. In 2019, 12% of employees in the UK were from home to some extent, and compared to 2023, it's now 40%, which is a massive increase. That's 18% over the last 3.5 years. Obviously, COVID has had a fair thing to do with that. Second place is Germany, which records staff working from home 1 day a week, a third less than in the UK. And on the flip side of this, it's also recorded that the UK has the longest working hours in Europe due to the flexibility of working from home. So 9% more hours in the work week compared to the rest of Europe. And again, second place being Germany. And that's it for the stat of the week. Okay, let's take a look at some hot jobs in the UK at the moment. The first we have is an executive personal assistant, and this is based in southeast London. This is a temporary position paying £21 per hour. And what we're looking for is somebody who will be providing extensive diary, inbox and travel management, taking accurate meeting notes and following up with actions, and collation of weekly statistics and information. We really need someone for this role who has a strong numerical ability to analyse financial data, and you must have had previous experience as a PA within a corporate setting. Maddie Lang is looking after this role, and if you want to get in touch, you can contact her on maddie.lang@people2people.co.uk. The second job we have in the UK is actually based in Manchester, northwest of the UK, northwest of England, I should say. And this is for a senior manager of corporate tax, paying £45,000 to £56,000. It's working within a practice firm, providing tax advisory and compliance services to clients, including tax planning, tax preparation. You'll be developing and maintaining strong client relationships and assisting in the development of tax strategies for clients. We need somebody who has a bachelor's degree in accounting, finance or related field for this role. 3 to 5 years experience in a corporate tax compliance or tax planning position. And that's it for the UK. Let's take a look at what's happening over in New Zealand. Okay, we have a Class 2 driver position working in Wellington, New Zealand. This is paying $28 per hour, and you'll be responsible for removing and replacing waste paper and secure document information from shredding bins from clients' premises, exchanging document destruction bins and collecting bulk destruction orders. You need prior experience in this type of position. You'll also need to pass a drugs and alcohol test before starting. Scott Bannister from our New Zealand team is looking after this role, and if you want to get in touch with Scott, you can contact him at scott@frogrecruitment.co.nz. Now, I believe that we've also got a video from one of our consultants in Australia to talk about one of the positions that they have going.
It's Jess from People Recruitment in Sydney with an exciting legal secretary position within the litigation practice of a busy national firm. As a firm, this team are high performing and recognise work-life balance, career progression, and even offer their legal assistants the opportunity to work on billable hours. This is a temporary to permanent role, giving you that opportunity to trial out the position first and see whether it is the right long-term fit for you. With an immediate start, you will support a key partner and special counsel within banking and finance, providing integral administration support across diary and email management, client correspondence, dictation, and monthly billing, of course, through Aderant. The world of litigation is fast-paced, so previous exposure to Aderant will really help you hit the ground running, but the firm do offer a full training and development plan as well. If you have 1 to 3 years work experience as a legal secretary, this is the perfect role for you, as well as a natural interest in progressing your career in a friendly litigation CPD team. Reach out on the details below if this sounds like you. Thanks.
Thank you for joining us. I know you're a specialist within the business support space in Western Sydney. So obviously talking to job seekers every day. And I think you've got a couple of particular challenges. I wanted to give a few insights around a couple of specific challenges that you know people face and some ideas and advice about that.
Yes. And thanks for having me online today. I participated in a webinar last month to discuss how to take the next step in your career. And I mentioned the most common challenges that job seekers are experiencing in 2023. Those main challenges being competition in the current job market, interview preparation and processes, entering into new markets and changing industries, and finally networking, how important that is and how that contributes to building your future career. I thought I'd make a shorter case of that and focus on maybe 2 of the main ones, but I'd like to focus on competition in the current job market and then entering into new markets and changing industries. So what I'll do first, I'll cover off competition in the market and what that means. On a day-to-day basis, we speak to many candidates and we speak to them about how they can set themselves apart from other job seekers. As we know, we're in the last half of this year and it's a year that's recorded one of the lowest unemployment rates that we've seen in some time. But in New South Wales specifically, some areas recorded a higher unemployment rate than others. So in those areas, there are more candidates to compete with. So when it comes to that competition, I recommend direct information and in-depth detail about how they portray themselves in the market. And really that starts with how you display your experience in your CV. So your resume or your CV is the critical tool, and it really is the first connection between you and your future employer. So making sure that the layout, the information, and even the smaller details that you may not find to be so important, sometimes even such as the font type and the size of what you've got on there, can make all the difference. So I provided a few tips on the best layout to portray the best information. So ensure your jobs are listed in reverse chronological order. So meaning, exactly. So meaning you list your latest role first and work your way down. And Catherine, as you know, if we're looking at CVs, we want to see your most recent position. It's always the best way to set it out. Secondly, unless the company you've worked for is a well-known brand, providing a short summary of what that company does will set you apart from other candidates who may not have as much detail on their CVs as well. And lastly, you should provide information on each of your roles. So setting it out in this format might be a little bit easier. So displaying the title or the title of the role that you worked in, the time that you worked in that position. So say, April 2021 to April 2023, and then the responsibilities of your position and even your achievements as well. Setting out your CV in that way will provide a great overview of your experience, and it'll really attract the eye of a recruiter or a direct, HR representative as well. So that's on competition. The other part of it is entering into new markets or entering into new industries. For job seekers who are entering into the market at the moment, it can be really daunting, and we definitely acknowledge that. Being new to the market can be a challenge, as there may be an expectation or a skills gap. This can also cover job seekers at all levels. So if you're a recent school leaver, you just graduated high school, or even university graduates who have just entered into the job market, all the way to seasoned professionals who are ready to take a sidestep or try something new. There are a few ways that you can overcome these challenges. So research being the first one, knowing and finding out as much as you can about the industry that you're going in or the career you'd like to enter into is where it all begins. So this means covering everything from the biggest companies in that field, what skills those employers are mostly looking for in candidates, identify what those transferable skills are. So, if it is taking escalations, for example, or being able to manage a certain team of people, see how your current skill set can also be used in that other skill set also, and then highlight any relevant qualifications that you'd have. And then tailoring your CV to that target industry. And if possible, if you can, consider entry-level positions to gain experience, can be that foot in the door that you might need. You could also consider volunteering positions to get the right experience on your CV. And, obviously we're acknowledging that that might not be for everyone, especially in the current financial climate that we're in. But those sorts of things and those sorts of steps will only assist you down the line if you wanted more options. But in summary, Kath, I know I've really much just talked at you, but when looking for roles on the job market, you should seek information and advice on how to differentiate yourself from other candidates. Make sure your CV is updated. Make sure that your CV best represents you and your skills, and ensure that you do as much research as you can and tailor your CV to that target. And get in touch with me if you needed some information on how to do that. My details are below, so I'm more than happy to assist candidates who are looking to do that. We're definitely happy to help in any way that we can.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm sure that would apply for all of the people-to-people consultants. We are, frontline in the market every day. So if someone is watching this and they just want to get a little bit of advice around how they might particularly make a lateral move into a different market, then make sure you reach out to us. The two things I've really picked up from what you've said there is one, which is seems small, but is the actually having a bit of a summary of the organisation you work in, because it might mean that you don't get overlooked for something if there might be particular industry experience that an employer is looking for. If it's a niche, they won't know that connection. So that's really important. And then I think also the tailoring. So if you're looking at making a move into something different, that you're sort of telling that story a little bit, so it makes sense to whoever's reading it. But that's some really great tips. There's also on our website, there's a stack of sort of insights and tips and advice around job seeking, so direct everybody there. But Marissa's details on the screen there, and thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Great tips there. Thank you, Catherine and Marissa. Get in touch with the team in Sydney if you want some more information, and likewise here in the UK or New Zealand. We are a people business. We're here to help. Thank you for those insightful tips. It's now time to take a look at the Twitter poll results. Right, last week we had, when working from home, how productive are you throughout the day? And not surprisingly, more than in the office, 48.7%. Less than in the office was 34.5%, and no difference was 16.8%. I know I'm more productive in the office because I've got 4 small pets that annoy me all the time at home. Now for this week, we've got, as a job seeker in the current market, what is the common challenge that you are facing in 2023? low salary offers, underqualified, no flexibility options, or other. So if you'd like to get involved in that, please comment and I'll let you know the results next week. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you again 12:30 next week.